Welcome to the Smite Force Chronicles, brought to you by Karma. Hopefully, one of the players today has good karma. Karma. All right. So when you guys were last here, you were making your way through the Badlands. You had fought some interesting creatures, some shapeshifters, and then found yourself sort of at the edge of a bit of a saline infused pool in the desert, where you learned how to gather and harvest herbs, which we will take 2 seconds and teach the rest of the party today. Through some experimentation, Tyros was actually able to take some of the things that he found, and he was able to craft an alchemist fire. So, not unsurprisingly, most of that episode was about crafting and herbs and people looking at the recipe books. But that's okay. You did press on, and around noonish, you pulled up to an oasis, Sid Dish's oasis, Badland Oasis, and got out of your wagons. You went across the bridge, and you're now standing sort of face to face with some desert guards. You're not sure if the guards are guarding the oasis, or if they're just, visiting the merchants, or if they're just sort of, roustabouts. You have not determined this yet. But you're all there, and we're going to start that in just a second. But before we do, who was not here last week? Adam and Sarah, right? Yeah. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you open your macros. So, by the way, here's a little trick that I don't know if anyone knows, but like in that macro bar, if you click the number, it pops it into like a big window, so you can see all of your macros at once. And I believe... I don't know what just happened there. Hold on.
Sorry.
Stephanos fumbled. Good thing you're not really in combat. Yes, when you click on one of them, they actually roll. So there's 2 macros. Don't click on them yet. There's 2 macros that we're going to look at real quick. Number 1, there's a macro of it's a little wicker basket. So if y'all could click on, or if the 2 of you, or who haven't harvested, if you could click on that. And tell me, do you see any locations?
No, I just have a blank screen.
It's a blank screen, right?
No,
yeah.
I was talking on mute. So wait, it shouldn't be in our bar yet. It should be in the folder.
Well, I'm sorry. It's in. I think I put it in the bars for you. If I didn't,
okay, all right.
Yeah, cool. I found out that I could do that, so that I thought would save some time. But you can move it around or do things whatever you want.
Oh yeah, I have a wicker basket.
Okay, so let me
harvest.
I need to make you guys observers of the desert. So I'm gonna enable the places that you've visited. So you've been playing for those who haven't kept track, almost like I think we're over 4 years now, right? 4 years in April was our 4-year mark. Which, by the way, you guys, that just seems bananas to me. Like, that's a long time, quite honestly. So now if you click that little basket, did you see what you're supposed to see?
I have
the desert and forest pop up.
Flame lily. Let's see. I have
grasslands,
flame lilies, and marusa twigs.
Yeah, so those are the ingredients that you need, that you can find in an area, is what that means. So let me enable the rest of the areas for you. Let's make sure this works. Where else? You've been underground. Oh wait, but that one's not yet.
Do you have a limit?
Yeah, so I'll explain how this all works in just 2 seconds. But I'm going to do this pretty quick, and then we can always do it async after the game. So you've actually experienced quite a few different kinds of areas, so it's taking me a second to enable all of them for you. Figure ownership and observer. Okay, so there's 2 different ways. So basically, this little window, and you can also get to this from this title screen if you click the little paw icon. I think it's the little paw. No, or maybe it's the drops. I think it might be the drops. This is just shows you the different kinds of resources you can get in different areas, right? And the way this is used is, you know how sometimes you're like, I'd like to search for treasure. You can also tell me, I would like to sort of gather and harvest herbs and interesting materials to craft. So that's what that means, right? When you have materials, there's also a recipe book that I'll show you. So you're going to start discovering recipes. You're going to discover books. You're going to start this game with a library of books. And we're doing a little retro gaming, which I know is not not retro. What's it called, Curtis? When you not retro. It's
retcon.
Retcon, yeah.
Retcon.
Yeah. So basically, because we haven't had this enabled for the last 4 years, I'm going back in time and assuming that if you had this from the beginning for the 4 years, you would have gathered books, you would have been gathering resources, whatever else. So I'm going to give you a chance to get some of the resources right now. And then you have access to a library of recipe books that I would assume that you would have gathered over these 4 years, right? And that's just sort of like it was a call I made because I didn't want you guys to have to start from scratch, given the fact that like this isn't our first game. So, Sarah, you're here first. So is your gather and harvest screen open?
Yep.
Awesome. So you are in the desert right now. So choose the desert.
Okay.
And then do me a favor and click the gather button. And it may say that you don't have herbalism kit.
It only tells me that when I click the items themselves, but when I click gather, it tells me to roll.
Okay, so go ahead and roll, and that'll hopefully hopefully you have the herbalist kit. If not, I'll give it to you. I think I gave it to you.
So it says my ability modifier is wisdom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never actually read that. A glory roll.
Yeah. So in this scenario, you didn't get anything.
How?
So I'm gonna let you keep getting gather until you get something, and you'll know you'll get something because a window's gonna pop up, and it's gonna like be flashing a bunch of herbs. And when you click it, the herb that was up when you clicked it, it's kind of like Mario Brothers, right? Is the one you'll get. And I think you need to get over a 15. So keep on shaking here. Let's get all these bad rolls out of the way, Glory.
Well, maybe if you take it off of the curse that you've put on Glory, then maybe I'll get there.
Wow, they're getting worse. The smile on David's face right now, where you're trying to roll a roll that doesn't. There you go.
Ah, finally a nat 20.
All right, and did it pop up a little window that's like flickering different images?
Yeah. Oh, I click gather.
Yeah. Well, you click. So no, is there a little mini window popped up that with like a bunch of images? Yeah, click it. Click one of the images.
And I gotta.
Ooh, fire piece. And that is an ingredient, as Tyros will tell you, for alchemist fire. So if you have oil plus fire piece equals alchemist fire, which we can talk about that in a second. All right, now that's one way to gather. That's the main way that we're going to gather, right? There's some chance you may find things, you may not. There are times when I'm going to sort of say, you know what, this is a very lush area. You're going to find something. So the second way is if you look down in your bar, there's another like a bag with herbs hanging out of it. Mm-hmm. Click that, and it's called Roll for Harvest.
Okay.
I will let you. You're going to get 2 rolls for this, and this is a gimme. So choose any. You can do all plants, which will roll for all the plants, or you can choose a specific area that you would like something from. And I'm going to let you roll two times. So go ahead and do that.
Okay.
You found some
cat's tongue.
Cat's tongue. All right, so cat's tongue is going into your inventory. Next.
Okay, one more.
Uh-huh. Moonstalker. Now here's a fun fact that hopefully I told everybody last time. But let's just say you click cat. You're like, what can I make with cat's tongue? I wonder if any of my recipes work for that. So if you click cat's tongue in the chat window there, and I
do not have the permission.
That was the same thing that was happening to me last time too.
Interesting. I wonder how I give you permission.
I do have to say that the UX in this is a lot better. than any other experience that I've had with engaging with this
You,
stuff.
what I found is if you go in the recipe or recipe window, or recipe manager, and click search
Okay.
and put in cat's tongue, then it distills down
Yeah,
what you can build.
We'll do it that way too. Yeah, we'll do it that way. So we'll do the recipe book in a second. So hang tight, Glory. Tempe, it looks like you've now. Did you you rolled those from the macro, right, Tempe?
Yeah, the first one I did gather just at the bottom, and then
Okay.
I can also click on individual items.
Yeah. So hold on. So you clicked gather in the gather and harvest window, right?
Yeah.
And you found some.
Oh no, I used the macro.
Okay.
I haven't done gather from gather and harvest window
Okay,
yet,
so
I'll do that next.
so you got
Normal roll.
Yes. So hold on. You got, before you move on, you can roll twice from the macro. So you rolled once and you got the stinkhorn. So let me add that to your inventory. Okay, and then roll your second time.
Gather and harvest.
There it is. And nightshade. Ooh, that's a
Nightshade.
good one. That's, I
Nightshade's
think
good.
I think that's for a poisons, if I'm not mistaken. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the macro. You won't use that one very often, but I have that in case anything went wrong, right, or whatever. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so that's way number one. Okay, so now go to that gather and harvest window and click on desert because you're in the desert.
Yeah, I'm on desert. I'll just click gather.
Click
if I
gather.
click on a planet, it says I don't have permission to view.
Yeah, I'll look into why that what's the case is with that. But right off the bat, you scored, I think. And now a little window pops up and it's flashing images. Click one of the images and that's what you get. It's very much Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
So you have
I was like, this is Mario.
Yeah, so it's Marusa Twigs. All right, so that's the main way that we're going to loot, by the way, is this way. And all that stuff is now in your inventory. And Aaron, did you do harvesting last week with us? Oh, crap. Okay. So we'll rewind and do this for you as well. In your macro bar, well, a shortcut that I just taught them is if you click the little number on your macro bar, it pops up into a window, so you can see all your macros at once. There should be like 5 rows of them, which is pretty handy. There's 2 macros. The first one I want you to click is that little wicker basket. All right. Awesome. So yeah, so you can roll twice and choose any location, so you get 2 things from that wicker basket. This is if I tell you to roll from that wicker basket, this just automatically, you find herbs. Right? So you can do it twice. So the first one you got was Wolfsbane. And the second one was Dreamlily. It's really cool that you guys all got different ingredients, which means that you could potentially have some trading if you guys want to craft some stuff. All right, so I'm putting those 2 things in your inventory. All right, so that's it for your free rolls. If I tell you to roll from the wicker basket, then that's what you do. Right? That means that instant win. The other way that you can gather is hold on, I'm going to sneeze. It's the decorative bag with the leaves hanging out of it. Click that. All right. Now, choose desert because you're in the desert. And more areas are going to show up as you discover different locations and learn how to craft. We did some retcon, as Chris and I were talking about, on this because we've been playing for 4 years. My assumption is over 4 years, you would have found recipe books. You would have known how to gather things. You've experienced areas. I didn't enable this until now. By the way, the next thing that's coming is resource management. So, like, you'll have to drink food and water, right? And if you go into a dungeon and you don't have water, you will die of dehydration, right? So it's going to make things a little more interesting. But anyway, so you're in the desert. You're seeing that there's 3 different things that you know of right now that you could find in the desert. Click the gather button. And it's going to have you roll. And this does an herbalism check to see if you find anything. I've given all of you an herbalism kit because I think if you're at the markets, oh, look at that, nice roll. And then it's going to pop up a mini game, and you got Marusa Twigs. So those are now in your inventory. All right, so you don't always find stuff, by the way. And someone asked earlier, like, couldn't you just keep doing this? No, there's a burn down. So once you've searched an area, it's not gonna. Don't try it, but it should not let you find anything for a while, right? Because you've already sort of exhausted your search in that area. Okay, now you might ask yourself, well, why in the hell would I want to do that? Well, here's why. In the upper right-hand corner, if you look at a little suitcase where it's your items, there's a new button, and it's called Recipe Manager. So click that button and tell me if you see recipes there. You do. So you can click the title of the recipe and it expands and it shows you all of the things that you could possibly make in that book. Right? And you can peruse these recipe books, while others are taking their turn, or however you want to do this.
Where do we find the recipe manager? Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, in the upper right-hand corner of your interface, there's a little suitcase.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's items, right?
Yeah.
And then recipe manager, and that for items, I think I'm going to make you guys able to see the herbs and stuff, but I have to decide that.
These names are great, Thomas.
What's that?
The umami poisoner, the mild poisoner, the spicy poisoner.
These are D&D recipes. So these are from Core 5e. The bottom book, the Draconic Apothecary, Sinister Infusions, that's my book. So I'm adding things. That's the Black Cult of the Dragon book, right? And you get that because of Toph. So Toph has been with the Black Cult of the Dragon, so she came with a few recipes that she knows of. But you'll discover more recipes there. So, in that book, there's Baphomet's Vial of Mind Fluid, which some of you have found a vial of that. It's probably in your inventory. You probably have forgotten. That was in the Goblin Caves. Nectar of Lapdog, right? Nectar of Lapdog sort of turns someone into your lapdog for a certain amount of time. The Wayfinding Gem of Known Pathways, right? So you guys are on this Wayfinder quest, and you have a recipe that could potentially allow you to program a gem to go to places you want to go to, right? So these are all courtesy of Toph.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Some of these potions, the person or someone it's not potions. Not everything is potions you take. Sometimes it's potions that you give someone else, right?
Yeah, or
And
poisons or whatever.
In that case, you have to trick them into drinking it, right? So you could invest all this time in making a poison and then they never drink it.
Well, you could, or you could possibly dip an arrow in it, and it depends on if it can be used. So, for instance, as an example, if you look at the Nectar of Lapdog, ingestion through the mouth or the bloodstream.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
And it looks like I have a typo in my content, but I'll get onto that. Yeah.
If you remember the guy in the Dragon Cave, I forgot what his name was. The bad dude. I kept trying to get him
Samael?
water. Yeah, I was trying to give him water, and he would never take it.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. He was smart not to trust me, but...
Yeah, so Glory, I have a feeling that because you're going to be able to craft potions, you're going to be able to craft devices, you're going to be able to craft all sorts of cool stuff, right? Imbue weapons. Anyone who's ever played Minecraft or anything similar to that, it's like crafting in any game, right? If you've been playing... what's all the
Harry Potter Legacy you have to craft.
Yeah, so it's crafting. You discover things that you can craft. Now, as an example, if you go to Alchemist Fire, you'll see that it requires 2 ingredients: fire peas and oil. So if anyone got fire peas in that roll, I think one of you guys got fire peas. And if you have an oil flask, which is a commodity you can buy from anyone, really, right? Then if you combine those two things, it will make Alchemist Fire. And the way you do it, well, Tempe, you've done it. I mean, sorry, Tyros, you've done it. Explain it to them and how you know you have something.
When you
I figured it out because the interface is quite intuitive. But go ahead, Dave.
It is very, very intuitive. So yes, when you do click on wanting to craft something like an antitoxin, there's the upper section that says ingredients, and the ingredients that you need will be outlined in red unless you happen to have it in your inventory. Then they'll be outlined, I believe it's in blue. Once you have all of the ingredients, then you click on the, I think it's on the result button, and that will actually see if you combine the ingredients correctly. So there's a good chance you can have every ingredient, and you still may not be able to actually make the potion that you want. So there is that risk. But if it is successful, it then ends up in your inventory.
So there you go.
So I'm doomed. One, I have to roll to go find it. And
Yep.
then we have to see if I can even make it. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I'm doomed.
No, you're
Because
not.
you may actually be, you may be grinding some leaves and you might over grind them, or you may end up with stems in there that you shouldn't have, and that's going to mess up your potion.
Yeah.
Right. And my glory roll
I will say, Tyros on his, he was able to make it, so like it succeeded.
Yep.
So I don't know what the checks are. I set those, right? So I can also be kind. But
Exactly.
there is one other way you can craft things, and it's through the cauldron, right? But it is super risky. So in that same window of Mastercrafted, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little cauldron button, or a little cauldron icon up next to the pop-out icon. If you click that,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. Well, it's because I didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you. You can just randomly drop stuff here, and it might make something cool, but it probably won't, and you lose your ingredients. So when you experiment, right? So like if you were like, I wonder, like I know how to make bread, but what if, and you just added a bunch of crap together, and it didn't make bread? Well, you don't have bread because it didn't work, and you also lost all these ingredients because you can't unmake the bread, right? So there's some risk here. But it's another way that you could potentially discover some interesting things, right? Okay. You guys are welcome to craft. Like, we're not going to go through that together. You may or may not be able to make things right now. The one other thing that Tyros mentioned is if you look at the top of that Mastercrafted recipe manager, it says search recipe, and if you type in like fire, it'll filter by the peas. Right, by fire peas, right? So you can look for your ingredients that way. I have to say, reflecting back on our Fantasy Grounds days and just how hard it was to do anything in that, like, the interface has come a long way. So I think they did a pretty good
100%.
job on this. The only thing I wish is that I could create a macro button that would bring up this menu, but there's no way to do that yet that I know of. But you know how to get to it, so that's it. All right. Enough of this nonsense. You now know how to gather, you know how to craft. It is something that you can ask in an area. It is completely on you. If you're in a city, you can craft. You can look for things, like herbs growing in sidewalks. If you're underground, there's mushrooms and all sorts of things. Like pretty much anywhere you are, you can craft. You can harvest. All right? All right. Let's get you to the game. And he goes ahead and he loads. Activate.
David, what Pyros, what is it that you were able to craft?
Oh, give me 1 second. Where did it go? I just looked at it.
Fireball. Do, 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 do.
No, it was
Fireball.
it was a lava paste.
Ooh, lava paste.
Yeah. Let me find it here. It's very, very cool.
Oh, you made lava paste.
I think we want you to slap somebody with a lava paste.
Yeah, basically I can slap them on the side of the face. On a failed save, they take a 2d6 fire damage and become vulnerable against fire damage for another occasion in 12 hours. So it's going to be like a burning rash.
So if you put it on your hand, though.
Yeah.
I'm a rogue. I wear gloves.
Mouth disease.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
if this goes on your hand, aren't you gonna hurt yourself?
Adam, did you just make a hand, foot, mouth joke? Because I was getting ready when everyone was quiet to make that same joke. So bravo to you.
Yeah.
All right. So when we were last here, like I said, you made your way across this bridge. You guys are all seeing the board, right?
Yep.
And you find yourself sort of face to face, or party to party with some guards. Now, Dinjarin, do you want to remind me of why they're all looking at you?
Yeah, really quick, I had a quick question is, it says it's 11:30 a.m., but it's all grayed out, like as if it's nighttime. For me.
I was just going to ask the same thing.
That's interesting because you have dark vision.
Like, I can see things, but it's gray as if it's nighttime and I have dark vision.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
because
I wonder.
But the time says 11:30 a.m., so that's all I was.
Yeah, when I highlight you, just beyond. So does it go into color the farther away from you it gets?
Where there's
The only
lanterns,
place.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the only place.
Yeah,
that's color.
I think it's because we're away from the firelight.
So let me look at something real quick.
And while you're looking at, the reason why all the guards are looking at us is because as we came over, I saw the guards and I said, "Hello, friends. How are you?"
Yeah, so I'm going to make a note to turn off, to look and see, like, if you click away from your character, does it all light up in color? You can't see anything then, right?
No, I still see stuff. Well, that's probably because I have night vision, but it's just gray.
So that's one of the questions I've had, because I'm not on the player side. So let me look at my configure real quick for you guys. I've noticed that when I'm testing, I'm like, man, it has to suck to never see color. Do you ever see color?
Yep, daytime.
Yeah, during the day it usually is.
Technically during the day, yeah.
All right, so let me.
Glory's God has called her to
To the potty.
to the potty.
He has belly gurgles.
Let's see. Lighting is token vision. Okay, now tell me if it suddenly lights up in color.
Yep.
Color.
Now it does.
Okay, now tell me. I'm going to change the time real quick. Tell me if it gets dark.
Yes.
Yep. It does.
All right. So I have to enable. 11:30. I have to enable global illumination. Okay, that's a thing I needed to know. So now when I click you, it's when it's daytime, you're going to see daytime light, and when it's nighttime, you're going to see nighttime light.
Cool.
Yay! Thank you for helping me troubleshoot that. I've often wondered why it looks so crappy. I thought, man, there's all this rich, beautiful, illustration work that somebody's done, and you're not picking up on any of those details. All right, now that Monkey Boy's back with his banana, is Glory back from using the glory hole? See what I did there?
No.
Oh.
Why, it's a potty. Anyway.
Offside.
All right, so I'm sorry, Dinjarin. What did you say? Why are they aimed at you again? Did you share that with them already?
Yeah, because as we came around, I said, "Hello, friends."
So there's no hostility. They just turned towards you. And we'll wait for Glory to get back for 2 seconds, and then we'll go from there. So you should probably, at this point, while you're waiting for Glory, scheme as to what you're going to do.
I think
I say we
interested in going into the bazaar.
Let's just talk to them and say, "Hey, how do we get in so we can buy some stuff?"
Yeah.
We're travelers wanting to buy things.
I'm excited.
We are
to see
weary of travel.
some kind of unique food I've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Might
throw
be
some
looking for
herbs
some
in there.
unique weaponry.
All right, let's see here. And I think we'll start in 2 seconds when she's back, because I want to make sure that you're all ready to roll. And we have... I'm going to pop something in the chat window in 2 seconds.
I wonder if they have a pit in this desert where if you get thrown in, you'll be digested for 1,000 years.
I like the Family Guy version of that pit.
Don't remember it.
I watched
All
that
right.
a couple of months ago.
My son, I can't get my son into Star Wars, so I thought that would be a good gateway to make him, because he rejects Star Wars because of how much he heard about Star Wars as a kid and was forced to watch Star Wars as a kid. All right, so there's a who should lead poll in the chat. Please vote. And we have 4 answers. We have waiting for 2. We're waiting for a couple of people. So far, now Tempe's in the lead.
I'm wondering if I should charm these guards.
We haven't really engaged with them yet. Dinjarin had
Yeah.
just caught their attention.
All right,
It would
I'm
be
gonna.
nice to not have to pay a cover charge.
All right, I'm gonna make the voting is over. I'm going to make it public, and the winner. Wait, who just did that? So, the winner is tied. So everyone vote for either Tempe or Toph now. So change your vote to one of those two. And I'm going to close voting in just a second. So, right. Okay. Toph, you're now the leader. So when in doubt, I'm going to ask you what the team is doing. And I'm going to start that now.
no.
So Toph, when you're ready to move forward, you tell me what the team is doing.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I think the first thing we want to do is talk with the guards to see if we can get in for a discount. Who's our most charming person? I feel like is it Tempe?
It is not. Tempe has no charm. I am
Surprisingly, Dinjarin has a 19 charisma.
Holy God!
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wow.
I think it's Dinjar.
All right, Jarin.
Yeah.
I think Glory might be a little bit higher than me, but yeah.
Yeah, but I always have a glory roll. So, I mean,
All right. Well, then I say, Dinjarin, we believe in you for some reason. We want you to go out there and get us into this cool exclusive club.
All right, I'll walk up and talk to the. Since I did already say, hello, friends. I'll walk up and talk to them. I'll walk up to this guy right here if I can, if that's okay.
Hey, pal, why are you on top of me?
Hey, sorry, I was just curious. How do we get into the Oasis? We're all weary travelers, and we're looking for some buy some goods and some food to move on to our next leg of travel.
Listen here, genius. Look just beyond me. You see those two torches? And they're on either
Yeah.
side of a giant door that says, come
That's-
on in. That would be how you get in there, pal. Now,
Cool,
take a step. Now
thanks.
take a step back. You're right on top of me.
All right, no worries. Oh, not that far back. Anything we should know about in there? Like anything you suggest, like a good place to eat or grab a drink in there? You
I
look
would
like a
just-
man who likes to have some libations, so I figure you might know.
I do enjoy a drink now and then when I'm not on duty, of course. My
Oh,
only
of course,
advice to
I
you
would.
is don't break the laws if you value your hands.
Sure.
What are the laws?
Yeah.
What are the laws? Do not steal. Don't be stupid.
Well, oh well, the first one, no problem. The second one, maybe a little bit of an issue with me, but that's okay.
Does this guy speak for the lot of you?
No, he's our he's our most special friend.
Well, I would keep him
We'll keep him
close
in line,
in the
don't
market. The vendors there, while I consider some of them friends, this guy, they're gonna take advantage of this guy. What a knucklehead. Anyway,
Luckily, we'll be doing the negotiating for him.
go about your business, you guys. We're
Yep.
our break's about over, and we need to head back to the waterworks.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Thank
well,
you for your
thanks.
service.
I turn to the group and say, "Hey guys, looks like we just get in for free. I got us in for free. Come on in. Let's go."
Well done.
All right. So free movement is on. You guys can make your way to the front door. I'll let you move all the way through the front door. After which point, don't go into any shops or anything, right?
Forward, friends. Let's go.
Ooh.
All right. Meta question. It's this bridge thing, right?
Go north?
No, that's where you came from. Sorry, it's
Oh,
up here.
okay,
I'll
sorry.
ping.
Thank
I'll
you.
ping up here. And don't forget, you guys, you
Thank
can
you.
ping on the map by holding your left mouse up and down, and it'll go ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, I still have a lot of shadow or fog of war or whatever. So I'm like trying to leave.
You have fog of war?
Door's right here.
Blackness, actually.
Oh yeah,
See
yeah. You can't see into some areas, right? Because
Yeah.
well, you wouldn't be able to see into them. All right. So let me give you some narrative. All right. So for those who didn't see this last time, I'll just go ahead and give you the narrative again. Sort of as you pass through the front gate of Sid Dish's quick oasis, your senses are immediately overwhelmed by the vibrancy of the bustling bazaar. The dry heat of the desert fades away, replaced by a palatable buzz of commerce and conversation. All around you, the bazaar thrives with fervor, my bad, unique to Sid Dish's quick oasis, making this desert refuge a true sight to behold. And I'll give you a little link into... I wrote this little module so you can look at things like the images and all that jazz.
Were you watching Star Wars when you wrote this?
I was not, but I did see that you needed to travel through the Badlands, and I thought to myself, well, that's going to be a boring, 6 sessions of just rolling for encounters. So, but yeah, you can ask me that again later on after you do some stuff. So yeah, so this market is this market's pretty interesting. Sort of as soon as you walk into the right, you can see Jimmy Hammertoe's weapons and stuff, right? And it stands out with a sort of a proud array of gleaming weaponry, handy armor, and various martial goods laid out for perusal, right? The shop's awning is a vibrant burst of color against the desert backdrop. It offers a much-needed shade from the harsh sun, casting a cool shadow over sort of his impressive wares. Now down to your left, you see Sally's Good General Goods. Sorry. Sally's Good General Goods. I was drinking when I wrote this. I'm sorry. It's actually Sally's Good General Goods and Stuff. And she brings a little bit of life to the otherwise barren landscape. It's vibrant cornucopia of fresh fruit, cuts of meat, and other general goods, right? You see herbs hanging from strings. You see fruits and vegetables. I think she has frozen banana on a stick. Anyway, it's a bright awning. And her bright awning flutters in the slight breeze, and it sort of attracts the attention of the passersby. Now, just beyond Sally is Flambeau's Emporium of Magics and Stuff, presenting the spectacle of twinkling trinkets and arcane artifacts, right? It is a must-visit for any magic user, with its canopy shrouded in a perpetual soft glow. So he's using a little bit of magic to sort of do a little cross-sell, a little upsell, right? He wants to be above the fold because he's back in that corner. Now, 2 buildings rest within the confines of the Oasis, right? To your immediate right, a small but sturdy sort of structure probably serves as a storage depot, possibly a room for rent. It's hard to say. The building is sort of unassuming, but, it's a building, right? So... interesting. Nestled along sort of the west end of the Oasis is this grander establishment. This is actually where Sid Dishus himself conducts his business. And it stands as sort of the heart of the Oasis, its pulsing beat of activity, a testament to Sid's hold on the lush and lively enclave amidst the desolate Badlands. So, now we're to the point where you can sort of self-organize. Toph, you guide your team to do whatever you want to do. But let the shopping begin if you want. Otherwise, tell me what you want to do.
So one thing I'll say, y'all, is that I think we could reduce our kidnappings by over 40% if we go in teams of 2 at minimum. It's just something I've been thinking about as we've been going through the desert. How do y'all feel about that?
Way to
That
lead,
makes a
Toph.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
And what are your groups of 2?
Unfortunately, Dinjarin has already started walking over to an area.
I really want one of these bananas. Where's that banana?
That is at Sally Goods, General Goods.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to Sally and get myself a banana. Who wants to get a banana with me? I'm going to get a banana.
All right, so you're at Sally Goods, so I guess we'll start with you.
Okay.
All right, so Sally Goods, goods and stuff. Alrighty. Boom. So,
Dang.
Sally Good, General Goods and Stuff is an inviting scene of daily essentials and fascinating oddities. The market booth, nestled under a sunflower yellow awning, I guess I didn't get that right in the description. Buzzes with the activity of the desert day. I know you want to get a close-up of Sally, so here you go. Who wouldn't want to zoom in on that? She's a peach. Behind the booth, Sally, a petite woman with a friendly smile, navigates through the stall with practiced ease. She assists customers, answers queries, and occasionally haggles over prices. Her bright eyes gleaming with the joy of doing business. Her infectious warmth adds to the charm of the booth, making it a popular stop among patrons of the bazaar. So she's clearly well connected.
Hello, Sally. I heard you had these bananas.
Ah, my frozen banana on a stick.
Yes. I'm very interested in having a frozen banana on a stick. How much are your frozen bananas?
Well, the first one is free. You're a new patron. I've not seen you before. Who are you? And how did you find the Oasis? We get a lot of travelers, and they all carry tails.
We stumbled upon this Oasis as we were walking through the desert, and yes, this is my first time. What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Well, I just was
I'm so
curious
hungry that my brain isn't working.
Let's fill that belly of yours with one of these yum bananas. Would you like it dipped in chocolate, caramel? Do you want me to sprinkle any sort of spices, nuts?
Whatever's your favorite, I'd like to try that one.
Ah. Well, I am a simple woman, so I'm going to give you a banana, frozen,
Okay.
which is hard to do in the desert, by the way. And I'm gonna dip it in this chocolate, and ooh, look how it is slowly getting hard. Now I'm dipping this here into these nuts, and boom. That, what is your name? Glory? Is that you say Glory, right? I think I may have just inadvertently sounded inappropriate. And don't chuckle at me. I'm an old woman, and my brain is sometimes addled. So here's your rock hard banana on a stick covered in nuts.
Thank you.
Take a bite.
This is why you should have someone else with you at all times.
It's so delicious.
Hey, Flambo, I think this one needs an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, Glory, my love, I can see you filling out the HR complaint forms with Sid as we stand here. My apologies. You have to afford this old woman a little flexibility.
Oh, if only I had an immovable rod. Okay, so I have
my
another
ex-husband
question.
had an immovable rod. That's why he's my ex-husband.
Rose shakes his head and starts to walk away.
So, are you interested in
Sally,
any of my
we
wares?
are cookies in a pod, aren't we?
So, are you interested in any of my wares as you eat that banana?
Yes, I am. I was wondering, do you have any dragon's blood or lightning struck metal?
Interesting questions. Well, why don't you first browse my wares and see if I have any of that. And then if you don't see something, we can have a conversation about it.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
And
This
so then-
banana.
Yeah, so then Sally
Best.
sort of, gives you a little wink and then just sort of goes around helping other characters. So now if you double click Sally, it should open up
Okay.
her shop.
Nice. Oh, okay. All right, got it. So wait, can I ask a meta question? Is it are there some items that are like bad to ask for? Like if someone asks for it, are they like, oh, clearly you're up to no good?
Well, yeah, there would be, like poisons, right, and things like that would maybe cause pause. But depending on the merchant, right? But most merchants, let me hold on. Let me. I'm gonna have the team quickly roll something. Let me get you guys going here because I think this is going to be useful just across the board for today. Toph and Tyros, Insight, and start epic roll. And for those who haven't seen the new epic rolls, it's pretty cool. I don't know why Sally Goods, General Goods, is rolling, but I'll go ahead and roll it for her too. Well, Dejarin made fun of Glory's glory rolls too many times, I guess.
God, I
All right.
feel insightful.
All right. So Toph,
I
you
was
are you are the leader, right? And so
pretty.
So you can huddle with your group and tell them what you want. Tempe, you kind of know this. Stephanos, you kind of know this. But like, you know that vendors in markets, sometimes they're above board, other times they're above board, but they also, they have access to some of the shadier goods, right? It never hurts to ask. But from an insight perspective, you're at an oasis in the middle of nowhere. So the odds that these guys have more goods than just on their table is pretty high, right? Because they're going to get a lot of traffic here. And who are you gonna get these other shit? Like, so if you wanted lightning struck metal, who are you gonna get that from? If not maybe these guys. Now, whether they have it on hand, that's a whole other story. But the likelihood that they're willing to sort of trade on sort of the gray to dark market, right? The gray to black market is probably much higher than, say, if you were in a bustling city and you stopped by someone's storefront.
I'm going to convey all that information, and I'm going to say, like, yo, they may have some of those black market bananas. You just got to know how to ask, right? Ask about the bananas in the back.
This is getting mildly inappropriate.
I mean, I don't know how to ask for them, but maybe Charin does. I don't know.
The whole time you're telling us that, I'm just looking at a butterfly. With that roll, I was looking at a butterfly flying around. Oh, what?
So Glory, while you're doing your normal shopping, and by the way, you can buy stuff, right? It's there. Like, you guys are wildly rich for some reason. Anyone else talking to a merchant?
Yeah, I want to talk to this guy over here that I'm standing next to. That I'm probably uncomfortably standing next to.
Is it Jimmy Hammertoe's weapons and stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Hello, friend.
How are you today?
So before we get into the conversation, Jimmy Hammertoe's weapons and stuff is a feast for the battle-ready eye. The booth, shielded from the harsh desert sun by an awning dyed in vibrant shades of blue, stands firmly against the backdrop of the bazaar. Clearly, I did not look at the image when I wrote these things. Presiding over all of this is Jimmy Hammertoe himself, a burly figure with arms like tree trunks, scarred hands bearing the testament to his trade. He greets every potential customer with a broad grin, ready to provide a demonstration or offer advice about his array of weapons. His enthusiastic energy brings life into the booth, drawing a steady stream of customers, making his market stall bustling hub within the bazaar. So this display, like, there's he's taken a lot of meticulous care to his showcase of weaponry. You see swords, all sizes, sort of glinting in the sun. Some are propped up against the back wall of the stall. You see axes, maces, warhammers, right? And they're on, displayed proudly. Like, he's clearly proud of his craft on his wooden rack. Each weapon bears the mark of excellent craftsmanship by skilled hands. And aside, from the sturdy way of weapons, there's also armor on display. Right? Chainmail, breastplates, all sorts of things to ruin your stealth check. There's also a collection of shields ranging from large tower shields to small bucklers. It's neatly arranged on the side of the booth. Now, toward the back of the stall, you see a section dedicated to other martial goods, like quivers of arrows, pouches filled with sling stones, small intricate mechanisms of traps and locks, and etc. So, you want to engage in conversation with Jimmy Hammertoe. Oh, I forgot to give you Jimmy Hammertoe's image if you want to see it. Boom. Those eyes, man. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so far all the vendors have something going on with their eyes out here. I don't know if we should drink the water, guys.
Right, now don't forget,
No.
as a gentle reminder, because you've not engaged with people in a while, you can ask them about the area, you can ask them about specific things, maybe, are there anything related to the quests you're on, that sort of thing. But yeah, let's get into this. All right.
Hey.
Look, you look like a sturdy gentleman. Can I hook you up with some sort of weapon, armor? Or are you just here to shoot the breeze with Jimmy Hammertoe?
Maybe a little bit of both. Do you make all these yourself, or do you find your wares through other means?
Well, look, I craft these myself with the steel of my hands and the fire in my heart. But it's getting tough. As you may have noticed, as you crossed into this the Oasis, our water is it's down to a trickle.
Well, was it? So it wasn't always like that. That's not just how it is out here in the desert. You guys had more water before.
Yeah, we had that. It was the Oasis. It's where you came for water. Fucking desert guard. Their shenanigans. It's hard to run a forge without water, my friend.
You mean the guard that were out in the front there that we saw?
Them's idiots. They're just but a few of the desert guard.
They seem kind of nice. So I mean.
Yeah. They're rent-a-cops, dude. They are police for hire, right? So they're only as good as your pocket.
Who hired them?
I'm not sure who hired them, but I can tell you that the scoundrels are up to no good at the waterworks, messing with our water supply. It's bad enough for me. I need water for the forge, but like the people who provide the goods, to Sally, the vegetables, the surrounding areas, all their crops are drying up. This Oasis, I don't know what is an Oasis if there's no water. I'd like to see every one of them damn desert guards dead. I'm sorry. I'm being brutal. Don't mind me. Check out this great axe. This thing, holy smokes.
That is very nice. Do you have say any extra special goods? Say things that it might be of very difficult to come by, especially maybe in like the armor perspective. Like something maybe with like some special properties or something.
Lean in, friend.
Yes, yeah.
I get the feeling you're looking for some armor with exceptional quality standards, if you get my drift. Am I reading you?
I think so. I think we're both maybe on the same page. I've always had my eyes out for things that I,
That you no, I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, the good stuff. If there's some really exceptional armor out there, I probably would be willing to part with some coin to purchase it. But it would have to be of the highest quality.
Well, Jimmy Hammertoe here, not only can he provide you with high quality armor, but I do in my back room, I do some custom tailoring, if you will. So, if you have some specs, I might be able to hook you up. But I'm going to tell you right now that that kind of service can't just be bought with coin. It is bought with we'll just say favors.
Whoa. Hey now. We just met. I mean, at least like, hey, take me to lunch or something.
Oh, friend, you've been hanging out with Sally and her inappropriate comments. Yeah, that old biddy is hilarious, but man, do not have your kids around her. Cover their ears.
Okay.
I don't mean anything inappropriate. There's some things I need some help with. Maybe you start by browsing my goods, and if you don't see anything you want there, we can talk about that sort of custom piece. Now, to make your wares, I'm gonna need some water. So maybe if you help me, I don't know, take care of the water problem that we're experiencing, I might
pull out my water flask. I pull out my water flask and show it to him. Is this enough?
That's cute. I see what you did there. No, I need our water supply returned. But
okay. Well, let me browse your what you got, and then I could talk to my compatriot right there. She's kind of running the show. So
Awesome.
yeah, maybe we can make a deal somehow.
Well, I have some really great stuff. So you take a look at my goods, and I'm gonna stop whispering to you now. But yeah, you let your patriots going on. This impacts all of us. Goddamn guards, right? So that shenanigans over at the water fortress. If any, group of heroes were to help us out, I'm sure that all the vendors would smile upon you. If you get my drift here, son. I don't know that you get my drift. I see an emptiness behind your eyes. I don't know what's going on. Sort of the blank stare.
Be very happy, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like water good, son. Water good.
Sure is. All right. Well, let's see what you got.
Yeah, so you can pop into Jimmy Hammertoe's shop by just double-clicking in, and feel free to purchase what you want. Anyone else? Talking to vendors?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I see this person in the corner of my eye.
Which person? Okay, yeah.
I'm walking over. And as I'm looking through Sally's stuff, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here.
Mm-hmm.
And say good day to this selfish commoner.
Yeah, selfish commoner. So the commoner looks at you and gives you a little wink, right? And just sort of warming his hands over the brazier there. And he says, "Good day to you too," and he sort of walks away.
He walks
Zoom.
away.
Yeah.
That is selfish.
Well, he was kind. He winked. He waved. He was like, "Hello."
Okay.
He's got business. Where can a man buy a drink here?
Is this a merchant I'm standing in front of?
Is it?
Doesn't
Yeah,
look
Flambeau? Yeah, it is. So, Stefanos, you come across Flambeau. And he's part of... And I'll give you the image as well. Why not? So, nestled beneath an awning that flickers with, ethereal, shimmering hues, Flambeau's emporium of magics and stuff exudes an air of enigma that mirrors its proprietor. The market booth is a magnet for curiosity seekers and arcane practitioners alike, radiating an almost tangible aura of mysticism. Now, presiding over this bizarre bazaar, see what I did there, is Flambeau, a tall figure clad in a robe changing colors. Right, so this robe is just sort of cycling through colors softly. It's pretty cool. His deep-set eyes are as captivating as the items he sells. He's scanning the market, scans the market, keenly observing his patrons. His fingers dance with a silent melody, causing sparks of multicolored magic to light up around him, adding another layer to the captivating allure of Flambeau's emporium of magics and stuff. Right? So what you see is a variety of arcane items. They're sort of common to peculiar, right? And they sort of populate the space. You see crystal balls filled with swirling mists, right? Probably novelty items to sort of lure in the unwise traveler. Along the counter is a line of potion bottles that glow with a spectrum of colors, each liquid swirling and bubbling perfectly. A little bit further in the back of his shop, artifacts that of power are showcased, like enchanted wands of yew and holly, orbs that shimmer with captivating light, and amulets holding precious gems that seem to pulse with an inner light. And then on a cushion of a purple velvet, a pair of gleaming gloves beckon the viewer. Right? Threads of gold depicting intricate glyphs woven into their fabric. Sort of in the corner is a selection of magical tomes and that are piled high. Their pages are filled with arcane knowledge and forbidden spells. They are guarded by a shimmering, transparent barrier that hums with protective magic, ensuring only those with Flambeau's permission can access them. Well, greetings, traveler.
Are you here to shop?
Yes, I'm definitely interested if you have any ancient relics related to faith or anything that would help with healing, any potions.
Well, as you can see, up on the shelf here, I have various potions of healing. But relics of faith is
a little too fuzzy. Can you be more specific?
Worship Moradin, the dwarf god of creation. So curious to know if you have any relics related to that faith.
Interesting. Well, not specific to that faith. I don't necessarily trade in specific religious wares, but I do have something called a shield of faith. Right? It's something I worked on with Jimmy Hammertoe.
What does the shield of faith do?
Ah, the shield of faith. Oops, I did not mean to apply that to him. I wanted to look at it. Give me 1 second. That commoner now has the shield of faith going. good job, commoner. Give me 1 second. Oops. There we go. Alright, so shield of faith. So basically it adds to someone's AC for 10 minutes. Now this is a spell. Are you a caster?
I do cast spells. I'm gonna be interested in this spell. How much are you charging for it?
Interesting question. Let me consult my book. Why don't you browse my wares while I take a look and see? This is not a common item that I'm typically asked for in my shop. So give me 1 moment to look it up, and meanwhile you'll find other really great spells or great trinkets.
I have a quick question. Maybe you can answer this while you're doing that. I want to go into this room, but it's saying it's an error. Is that on purpose? Like,
you want to go into a room? Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a window. But before you guys enter any of the buildings, please let me know. I want you to sort of I can do that for you whenever you want. But like, let's cycle the rest of the party and see what they want to do, and then when you want to go into that room, we can. So I'm still in Flambeau. I'm still in Flambeau's voice, clearly, and hey, we won. Yeah, Shield of Faith. Look, I could teach this to you, right? It'll be a small piece of like parchment paper. There's gonna be some. I'll write a little bit of holy text on it, and I can teach you the spell, and it's gonna cost you. I could do this for 20 gold.
I'll take it for 20 gold. Do I have to buy the parchment paper? And
oh no, that comes with Flambeau. Will give all of that to you. So let me see. 20 gold. Let me take that from your. I assume you're handing me the gold. So minus 20. And here you go. So like these are the holy words. Do not share these with others, or it will destroy it. And hold on. There you go. You have now learned Shield of Faith. I believe.
And it should be in my spells?
Yes, so if you check your spells, you'll notice that right below Sanctuary is Shield of Faith. It's been quite a while since someone asked me to teach them a spell. Now, I encourage you.
Thank you.
You're a great patron of Flambeau. I appreciate the purchase. Do check out the rest of my goods. You'll find some really awesome stuff. And if I don't have it on stock, I might be able to secure it for you.
Thank you. I'll take a look. And tell my friends to come shop at your nice stall.
Oh, do indeed. Do indeed. It was much nicer when the water flowed more freely, but hopefully that will come to an end soon.
All right, so the rest of you, anyone else engaging, talking to anyone, or did you want to head into one of the buildings? I know that's Glory's plan. What you got going on?
I want to engage either with the outdoor waitress or go into this building that I assume is a bar because there's tables out front.
It's a bazaar bar, right? So yeah, you'll find. Well, you can go in. It's largely shops with food. Think of it like the world market. So yeah, you can feel free to open the door and head on in. Whoever wants to go into the building.
Kairos was hoping to chat with Flambeau as well.
Okay, I'll be right back with you. We can talk to Flambeau in 2 seconds. Sure. So Tempe, as you and I'm assuming Glory walk in, you find yourself in the shop of wonders and stuff. So sort of approaching Seditious's shop, your attention is immediately drawn to the arrangement of round tables flanking the entrance. This inviting tableau sits under an open-air market of the desert sky, creating a tranquil spot where the rustle of the Oasis vegetation is the soundtrack. From outside the tables to the interior comfort, this shop is a harmonious blend of local flavors, goods, and experiences, offering a respite and leisure amid the challenging environment of the Badlands. Now, the shop itself, skadoosh. Sort of when you step over the threshold of the shop, the vibrant, inviting atmosphere embraces you. So there's this mingling scent of delicacies, right? The natural light floods the room through large natural windows, dancing off surface pots and crates filled with a myriad of local goods. So you see, each of the tables is covered with an eclectic sort of, fresh fruit and beverages, spicy grilled meats, sweet exotic fruits, fragrant breads, and, all sourced from the Badlands. Well, back when they had water, at least. So the air here is perfumed, mingling with the scents of delicacies, along with the heady aroma of strong coffee and herbal teas, hence the tables out front. Now, a large decorative rug in shades of amethyst, cerulean, and goldenrod sort of dominates the heart of the room on the floor. It's sort of surrounded by plush, colorful pillows. They offer a comfortable retreat from the desert's harsh realities. So you see various customers sort of standing around, resting, chit-chatting. Everyone seems fairly happy. There's the shelves that line the walls. They're stocked with a peak of far-flung, of goods from all over the Badlands. Sort of a testament to his far-reaching connections. And sort of nestled in the northern wall, a wooden door suggests a back room. And that is a space probably only privy to Sid's more exclusive dealings, adding a dash of intrigue to the shop's overall charm. Now, Sid Dicious himself, as you walk in, greets you with a hearty hello. So, boom and boom. So, Sid is a figure of intrigue and charisma. His dark hair often tousled from endless bustle around the Oasis. It contrasts starkly with his penetrating eyes that hold a sparkle of mischief and seem to know more than they let on. So he has this rugged handsomeness about him. Think Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones, maybe. It's sort of etched by years of journeying and adventuring. His skin is kissed by the sun and sort of carries the lean physique of a man who's spent a lifetime on the move. So his years of travel and adventure have not really hardened Sid. Instead, they seem to have imbued him with an infectious zest for life and undying curiosity, right? His laughter is hearty, his tales of past exploits are shared with irresistible fervor, and captivating all those who find themselves in his company. So it's not uncommon to find Sid sort of surrounded, telling stories of his endeavors and his accomplishments. Now, I'll say that, his accomplishments that you're hearing him sort of brag about, humble brag maybe, they extend beyond personal adventures, right? So maybe his greatest achievement yet has been this very Oasis, right? It's in the middle of the Badlands, and it buzzes with life and activity in the heart of what would otherwise be a desolate, lifeless place, right? So, Sid struck sort of this life-changing deal years ago with the waterworks. and he shares with you that like the Waterworks was able to divert a generous share of the sort of the Shadow Sea's water to this once barren region. Now this brought commerce, this brought farming, this brought the Oasis, this really brought community into the area. And it's probably, of all of the things he's done in his life, the one thing that he's most proud of. You know, he's created this hub of trade and camaraderie, in a place where survival used to just be the only concern. So as you were traveling to this point, and probably why he chose this location, this is where you would possibly, like, end your life, right? You run out of provisions, get attacked by bandits, whatever else. So he's sort of located this oasis sort of as sort of a great rest stop, you know, on the way through the Badlands. You know, from locals speaking, you know, looking for just a way to get out of the heat, to those looking for goods, like this place has really become a must. It's the wall drugs of the Badlands, except it's not a letdown like Wall Drugs is. For those of you who have been to Wall Drugs, it is quite the letdown. So I should have had you guys seeing
advertising.
I should have had billboards that was like Sid Oasis 300 miles, Sid's Oasis 100 miles. Grab a coffee at Sid's Oasis 100 miles.
Fool's Gold, Sid's Oasis.
Exactly. But like this place is legit, too legit to quit, if you will. And yeah, so there's Sid, and you know Sid greets you with his dreamy eyes, and he's like, "Well, hello, travelers. What brings you to Sid Dish's quick oasis?"
Oh, rest and respite. We have been on quite a long journey, and are looking for a few of those creature comforts that have eluded us so.
Ah, they elude you like the water is eluding the oasis.
Oh, really?
I'm surprised. The merchants. This is the main topic. Years ago, I struck a deal with the Waterworks and secured water rights for this area, and we still have those rights, and it is critical for this area. But the Desert Guard, for whatever reason, have been up to no good, diverting the water that was supposed to come here to someplace else, to something else. I don't know, but the basin is all but dry. Just a bit of water trickles through, just enough to keep us alive, but not to thrive. I very much fear over the next few weeks we are going to run out of goods, crops are going to die, and that will be the end of the oasis. It's heartbreaking.
It would be to lose a place such as this. When did this begin?
A couple of months ago, we noticed that the water supply slowed, and you know, from a bustling stream to the trickle that it is today. And you know, I of course beelined right to the Waterworks and was met with an incredible number of guards. These desert guards.
Are these the same guards that we saw outside the gates?
Yes, they're outside the gates because they're no longer welcome here.
Oh, interesting. They didn't mention that obviously when we came in. They were quite rude to our special friend Dinjarin.
Oh, you have a special friend. Oh, that's delightful. Keep an eye on him, right? Like my merchants are above board, but I can't speak for every patron. He may want to check his pockets once or twice. But yes,
we'll do that.
These guards, and I feel like that's a stretch. These rent-a-cops, right? These for-hire mercenaries of questionable abilities, quite honestly. I feel like I could, throat punch one of them, and that would be the end of that. That would be make quick work of them. But they have their numbers, right? And I am but one with merchants. But I will say that it's Jimmy Hammertoe. It's all I can do to keep him from going rogue and going solo and just taking it upon himself. But we're not set up to take on the Desert Guard at the Waterworks at this point, right?
Would you be looking to join up and fight alongside someone or hire? What? Yeah, and you must have your suspicions about who's behind this. I know you said you don't know, but what's your theory?
I know quite a bit, but I
Oh, you
fear
do?
that the two of you, you do look noble and just and like you could put up a good fight, but I don't know that the two of you would be enough to take on the Desert Guard. Again, they're like mosquitoes. But, one or two mosquitoes is fine, but, a handful of mosquitoes, you're going to get bit. And is it just the two of you?
Oh, there are more within our travel party.
Well, I'll make you a deal with
don't
you.
get me started on mosquitoes, man.
Mosquitoes are the worst, right? Just the worst.
Oh, man.
But I would take 100 mosquitoes over the nuisance of the Desert Guard any day. So let me tell you what I know. So lean in and I don't want to scare my patrons, right? But
we shall whisper us together.
So not far from here is a fortress, and it is built like a fortress because it serves one purpose. It is to ensure that the pump rooms below are protected from any scoundrels who might interfere with the flow of water. It was quite the undertaking. The area rallied together and we got water, and it's been a very exciting endeavor up until recently, where for whatever reason the Desert Guard have turned from protectors to scoundrels. So the water pump located below the fortress, they've done something to divert our water. Now I don't know where the water is going to, but I will tell you that an interesting thing has come because of their shenanigans. The fortress is fairly large by first observation, but it's not terribly large when you think about what's contained within. It's a cross-like room. I think there's maybe 3 or 4 rooms up top. The pump room I've not been in, but I've heard is just 1 or 2 cavernous rooms. No mazes, nothing complicated, but it houses sort of the pumping system that brings the water to the area. Now, up top, the fortress has, I believe, 5 or 6 sort of walkways that extended at one time into over the water, like bridges to nowhere, where the guards could keep watch and ensure that no one came upon the fortress via the bridge from the mainland, nor via boat, right? They also served as ways to bring supplies to the guards, etc. But as of right now, they've taken that once thriving watery fortress down to a dust-filled basin of nothing, right? So interestingly, you can approach the fortress from the west through the basin, or from the east across the bridge, right? The bridge is more protected, right? There's a wall, there's whatever, but again, these guard are. I wouldn't be surprised if you punched one and the 5 around that one just left. Right? They're in this for the money. They're not in this with any sort of passion.
So
it seems like surveillance is part of your skill set. Sorry,
it is.
Go ahead.
Do you guys have some sort of mayor or governor of the Oasis?
Oh, that would be me. I wouldn't say I'm a mayor or a governor, but I am the chief proprietor. Right? I guess I'm the CPO, chief proprietor of the Oasis.
Okay. And these people that
nice
are taken over the watering pump, you don't know anything about what organization is buying out your guards or anything? Like, can you give me a little bit of information who's paying the guards?
Would they be dressed in robes, perhaps red or purple, maybe gray?
And Tempe, as you say that, Sid, like, his eyes dart to you with a knowing look that suddenly, like, you may be more clued in than you thought. And he continues.
So, you're familiar with the Black Cult of the Dragon, huh?
Indeed.
those asshats have been stirring up trouble in this area far and wide. You know, they're not just here in the Badlands. I've heard word that their reach is extended throughout Farron itself, and they're up to no good. You know, all I do is hear tales of devastation and chaos, and their relentless hunt for something. I'm not sure what they're hunting for, but my gut tells me that they may be behind whatever's going on with the Desert Guards.
The signet ring that you have in your off whatever the store. Do you know can you give me a little bit more information about the signet ring?
I have several signet rings. Let me look at the one.
I only see one.
Lori,
Signet
are we
ring.
stopping? Did you open something up?
If you double click Sid.
Ah.
Yeah. So this signet ring. Yes. So this is something that's used by societies or groups that sort of indicate that they have rank within an organization. This ring was part of a trade.
How did you trade for what?
For goods. I don't recall the person who brought this ring in, but I believe they just needed some basic supplies, and this ring was worth about five gold, I believe, is what we gave them for it, or maybe 4 gold. I have to make a profit here. So I'm not sure if this was their high school ring or some sort of trade ring. But really, it's you know, if no one finds it beautiful, we'll just have Jimmy Hammertoe melt it down for parts.
Got it. Okay.
You look like a practitioner of some of the more arcane arts, and I'm gonna level with you. There's nothing special about this ring beyond it being a ring. But sometimes a ring can be a ring. Am I right?
Ring is a ring.
Yeah. Well, look, it seems that you're interested in shopping. So I don't... Oh, well, fantastic. I appreciate that. Thank you. Question for all y'all, both of you. How many are in your party?
There's, a few of us. Why do you ask?
Well, look. You seem to be familiar with the Black Cult of the Dragon, right? And I'll be pretty upfront, right? Their reputation precedes them, and I'm hearing rumors that they're set about bringing the return of the dragon goddess Tiamat from the 9 hells, which would not be good for business, right? Other rumors suggest Baphomet, yet other rumors suggest Baphomet and Tiamat. Any way you slice it, if they're at all successful, that's not going to be good for any of us, right?
What value is there to bringing them up from hell?
That I do not know. I believe that is what the Black Cult of the Dragon is trying to figure out, right? That's part of, I think, their schemes. For some reason, they've diverted my water, possibly to serve some other purpose. Perhaps they have a forge. Perhaps it's going to some unknown place, a hideout, a temple. I don't know exactly the specifics, but my day-to-day problem is they've had the Desert Guard divert my water. Now, interestingly, I haven't seen any Black Cult of the Dragon themselves. All I've seen are Desert Guard, so I don't expect there's any at the fortress. However, it seems to be in service of them. Now, travelers coming through there have spoken of their presence on the road, and in the towns that led to the Badlands. And we've had at least one shady character, although I don't get the feeling this person is part of the black cult of the dragon. They seem too shifty and unreliable to have a solid purpose. But they're holed up right now. They've rented the room off in my Oasis.
Good to know. Sounds like middle management.
So here's my offer to you. I have lots of goods. I have mess kits. I have brewer supplies and disguise kits and all sorts of normal things. I have herbs. I have, I have any number of crafting materials that you might possibly need. But I also have shady goods. I also have goods that we can go into the back room and secure. And here's my agreement with you. I will pay you 500 gold. And you can reach into Sid's bag of shady goods and pull out one item. You'll then have the opportunity, if you do not like that item, to put it back in the bag and choose a second item, but only twice. And I will give you the gold upon your return from the fortress with news of success, but I will give you the shady goods as a buff before you go to the fortress. And I will do that for each of the characters in your party. Now, my merchants might raise the bar. I know that Jimmy Hammertoe has offered a number of travelers special goods to take on the desert guard at the fortress, and yet has found no one willing to take on the task. But you seem that you may have the wherewithal to take this on. Now you don't have to decide now.
Well,
you can shop. You can talk to your friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sounds like a good deal, Sid.
Yeah.
I do never shop, completely sober. Are there any libations you can offer us? And I think your deal sounds wonderful. We want to go talk to the rest of our party. I believe some of them have already engaged with Jimmy. But yeah, it sounds like we're on the same page here.
I had pretty good look at Ellie, so I'll go for it. Give me your bag.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
let me. So is it just the two of you? I worry that just the two of you is, or would you like to gather your party first, or is this something that you're keeping from your party? I mean, that's up to you. But as I pour you, I'm going to pour you. This is some of my finest drink here, sir. You sip upon this. It's not quite a wine. It's not a beer. It's not an old fashioned, right? It's something I came upon in my travels, and I think you will find the fruitiness and the headiness sort of delightful. But what it does to your, we'll just say, disposition, I think you'll find incredibly wonderful. Now, I wouldn't get carried away if you're going to head to the fortress anytime soon. But it is a sipping drink, so I encourage you to sip.
Good to know.
You'll notice some coffee undertones. It's quite yummy. But as I pour this, let me tell you a couple of things. Right, I sort of I'm sort of imagine my hands as a map here, right? And I'm gonna sketch, like watch my fingers. I'm gonna sketch what I know. So the main entrance is situated at the end of a long stone bridge, and it's sort of arched over water normally. Right. We talked about that. The facility itself is nestled in sort of like a hefty raised wall, part of the bordering the basin. So it's like, think of this bridge coming from the east to this sort of basin, right? And the facility itself is nestled there, right? And that keeps the basin secure. Now, there are 5 lookout bridges that spear out on the basin, each one affording a superb view of the surroundings. Now, they're positioned to the south, the southwest, the north, the northwest, and the north sides of the facility. Now, these guards are no fools, and they man them with a watchful eye. However, the winds have picked up. They have decimated the water supply, and oftentimes the basin is covered with dust blowing throughout the night. So at the right time of the morning, there's enough dust and enough darkness to cover approach. Can you get all the way to the fortress from the west? I do not know. There's always the east across the main bridge. Now, don't be fooled by the simplicity of this fortress, right? it's not going to be as easy to walk into this fortress as it is to walk into my oasis here. But from the looks of you, if anyone can do this, I reckon it's you. And when you're ready to draw from my shady goods, let me know. But that is a binding deal. I will expect you to hold up your end.
I have a question.
Well, what do you think, Lori? Should we go talk to... Go ahead. Question.
Do you have any walkie-talkies?
I don't, but I do have talking stones that you can secure.
Okay. I won't.
Sounds pretty great.
How many talking stones do you have?
Well, I have to go look at
6.
I will have to go grab them from my back room and take a look.
Okay. While you go do that, we're gonna go get the rest of our party. If you could find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stones, that'd be awesome. That all talk to each other.
All right. You go talk to your party, and I will go secure my bag of shady goods, as well as if I have the stones, I will bring you the stones.
Right.
Now,
I'm going to go to the door and whisper to Toph to bring everyone in here. And we're going to catch them up with everything we have just learned.
Gather everyone. Come, Dinjarn.
Might Force, assemble.
Assemble.
Come on in, guys. This guy, Sid, he's pretty cool. And then we'll go talk to June. And you got to try some of this tea. It is lovely.
Ooh, a sipping tea.
So yeah, you guys, Sid has stepped away for a moment, and he's in this back room. He's going to join you guys in a second. So I encourage the party at this point I encourage the party to sort of scheme on what they want to do. And I would like, they didn't hear any of this, so if the two of you could loop them in, in role-playing mode on what's happened.
Consider yourselves looped.
I tell you guys when I walk in, I was like, hey guys, I think according to the armory guy, they may need our water skins. Sounds like they need our water skins. We should probably just, give them
Sounds
all.
like we need our water skins.
I think we're gonna hold on to our water skins, and we're gonna see if we can solve their problem at the source. So when Dinjarin and I were talking to this one guy, he was saying that we're having a lot of trouble with the guards over at the water well.
Yeah, Sid said the same. He gave us a pretty detailed layout of this fortress.
Sid.
And it sounds like if we help them out, there could be not only some pretty sweet weapons in our future, but also some gold.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what the weapons dealer insinuated, that he could give us access to custom stock that's off market. So I'm in to do this. How do y'all feel?
Yeah, I think we should consort with both Sid and Jimmy. That's the guy's name, right? And see what we can get ahead of time to help out this Oasis, and perhaps grab a few of those guards. It sounds like we're going to need a pretty stealthy approach to this fortress, so some costumes or disguises are going to be super helpful.
I have an idea.
Glory's
may not be the smartest idea. Do we know how far?
But we want to hear it in jargon.
Do we know how far away this place is?
No, but I'm sure Sid will know. He knows a lot about this fortress and about the water supply.
Because you could all go into my bag of holding, and as long as I open it every 10 minutes, I think air will come in, so you guys will be okay. As long as I remember to open it. And then I could take a
swim in there.
I could take a potion of gaseous form, and I could float right in, and no one would even know.
I can do a gaseous form.
Or yeah, maybe either way.
But I'm not trying to kill my party while I do that.
Glad we've
I'm just saying, it's
a gas talk.
I got a pocket dimension you guys could go in.
I'm not going to any of your pockets.
I didn't say it was a good idea.
Keep your
I just said
pocket
I got an
closed
idea.
while we're inside. Save that for the outside. But yeah, Sid should be back any moment, and I
Well-
think we start with him, and then we move on to Jimmy.
My goodness, what a lovely group of adventurers that seem to have joined me in my market.
We are the Smite Force.
Well, I like the name. It seems appropriate. What is your name, dear sir? We've been talking, and you know that I am Sid, but what is your name, fine sir?
I am Tempe of Ademre.
Ah,
You know
Mr.
my glorious partner, Glory.
I like the pun. Now, I have with me. Have you looped your friends here? Do I need to? Do they have any questions of what's going on here? Otherwise, we could forego the formalities.
We're curious
and get,
about how far away the fortress is, Sid.
It's about I would say 6 hours travel.
Okay. That is by cart or by foot?
Oh, that would be by foot. By cart, a third of that, so maybe an hour to 2.
Okay.
Wait, I have a question. Are our horses being taken care of?
Absolutely. We're a full-service Oasis. When you pulled up, on the other side of the bridge, you may have noticed other carts and other horses. We, as a courtesy, are feeding them and watering them as much as we can with our limited water. We're grooming them. We're giving them some sugar cubes and other yummy snacks. When we have apples, we give apples. But then, as you cross that bridge, that was by design because we do want to. It's a form of protection for us. So your horses are where you left them. Now,
Well, we are but emissaries. Our leader, Toph. We talked about the deal that you proposed to us, and it sounds like we're a resounding yes or yay.
This warms my heart. Did any of my merchants sweeten the deal? I'm guessing Jimmy Hammertoe.
Oh yes. Yeah, we were very intrigued by what he was offering.
I'll bet.
What is
I'll
what
bet.
you're offering, Sid?
So what I'm offering is, first off, there was some requests for sending stones, and normally I would have to sell these because, they are 200 gold apiece, but I just happen to have 6 stones. It's 3 sets of the stones. Are you familiar with how they work?
Praise be. No.
So each set is 2 stones, so they come in pairs, and they have this sort of smooth. It's smooth and sort of carved to match the other, right? So each stone will have a symbol, and that stone can only communicate with the other stone, right? So, the way they work is, you have a stone, someone else has a stone, and you can send messages through the stone. Now, this is magic, right? It happens, you can use them once a day and then they need to recharge. So this is not an unlimited talk plan on your local cell phone. And I did secure, there was a request for 6 of these stones. That means that you have 6 pairs. It's not a party line where any stone talks to any other stone. So, I'm happy to give you 3 of my sets, and you can pair them up how you will, but just make sure that you remember that one stone can only talk to the other stone. Right?
And how much is this going to cost us?
This is nothing if you return water to my Oasis. If you return and have failed, we'll negotiate a price.
And we'll talk money. Sounds good.
Yeah. Now, I do want you to keep in mind that if one of the stones gets destroyed, the other stone immediately also gets destroyed. Right? So if someone foolishly blocks a hammer with their stone, that stone will shatter and it will ruin both. So who should be the holder of the stones, or which 3 of you? Or do you want me to give you each one stone? Did you want to pair up now? Do you want to do this at some other point? I can give them all to one person and you guys decide later.
Yeah, we'll do it later. I think our approach to the fortress will be varied, so but I think
could
we
put
can
those
just
in my-
take one now.
No,
Okay.
give it to Stefano.
gonna
honestly
say,
that's
think to be in a bat, like hand-to-hand combat.
I could also put them in my bag of holding for right now so that they don't cause any weight. Because we don't want anyone to get encumbered.
They're very light.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
Guys,
they
I'm
weigh.
getting a call from my boss. I gotta drop. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Speaking of dropping, we'll be dropping in the next 15 minutes. So, who is? Am I giving them to one person?
Stefanos, it sounds like.
Okay.
Take them.
I have a quick question. I walked by a very selfish commoner, and I'm patting myself down and realizing that my water is no longer on me.
Did you confront said commoner?
I just said hi to him.
Because you know that Selfish is his name. It's Ronnie Selfish. He's not actually selfish. It's not his quality. And I've never known Ronnie to steal from anyone. Are you sure
Not
that he's?
I'm just curious where my water things went.
Oh, interesting. Hold on one moment, please, and let me check on something for you.
Hey, does everyone in here still have the Santa hats?
Yeah.
We do.
Does Toph have a Santa hat? Do we remember you're part of that adventure? Oh.
What did he steal from you? You said water? Could you be more specific?
No,
Your water.
My water is gone. I used to have the skins of water, and I no longer have skins of water.
That is.
Wow, did you get pickpocketed?
That's what I'm wondering, because we've been told a lot that there's a lot of pickpocketers, and so I want to know if someone pickpocketed me for my water.
Would you mind if I had a look in your goods to see if maybe you've just misplaced them?
Who's saying this? The DM or?
No,
or...
me, Sid. You know, have you checked your bags thoroughly? Because I swear, looking at your knapsack, I see this purple, what looks like a water skin, sort of peeking out of the side. I clearly believe you. I know that you're not trying to deceive me, but it seems to me that you have a water skin attached to your bag. Are you sure that you were pickpocketed?
And this is where I go into DM mode, where you probably think that you don't have a water skin, but in the new character sheet, if you look at the top of it, it's at the top.
I've looked at this. I've looked. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong page.
Look at the second tab.
Yeah, it is at the very top.
Yeah,
and look at the very top at the purple little thing that says water skin.
Oh, it's not
next
in
to your
list.
backpack.
Yeah,
it's
moved.
not a list. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it moved.
Okay, I didn't know that those were things. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry for
All to the good.
So it is your water skin. Oh, good.
Because quite honestly, Selfish is a regular patron here, and he's always been above board. He helps out people. I believe he's part of a group that goes to sick children and entertains them. But he's lived his life with the name Selfish, which is just tough, right? Because it's not a name that sort of portrays who he truly is. So I'm glad this was just a misunderstanding. My assumption was he probably greeted you with a smile.
Yes, he was very kind.
Excuse me, Sid, sir, Sir Sid, Mr. Sid.
You can call me Sid.
Would you happen to have any hot cocoa for all of me and my team members to drink? Just even a smallest sip.
I do. I have. It's a spiced cocoa.
And I'm willing to pay for it. It's just a tradition before we go off to do something. We all drink hot cocoa.
I will provide all of you with a cup of hot cocoa. Now, would you like just normal run-of-the-mill cocoa, or would you like it, with exotic spices?
Either's fine. Just normal cocoa.
Believe it or not, something that's very good in cocoa is actually like a red pepper, a cayenne pepper, and a little bit of saffron, a little cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla, and what you get is this warming chocolatey goodness in your throat, but then you get the slight warmth and the, dare I say, burn of the herbs that opens your taste buds and allows that chocolatey goodness to just explode with flavor in your mouth. Further, the spices, they release endorphins in your body and make you feel
just plain cocoa.
euphoric. Okay, cocoa it is. Let me go grab some Nestle packets with a little of marshmallows, and I will throw some boiling water into them. And so he comes back and he hands all of you little cups of cocoa. That you're now holding cocoa. I'm not going to do it in the inventory.
And I'm going into GM mode, where I'm talking to you. I'm going to say, Stefanos, I'm putting all of the stones into your inventory.
Got it.
And you're going to see sending stones, pair 1, pair 2, and pair 3. So there's 3 stones. They're labeled pair 1, pair 2, and pair 3. So you'll need to make sure that when you give those stones, whoever has the pair 1s can talk, whoever has the pair 2s can talk, and whoever has the pair 3s can talk.
Got it.
All right. Now, Sid holds open, his bag of shady goods, and this will be the last thing we do today.
Really quick, I take a drink and I tell the group, "Hey, remember that time I bought a spell book for Glory and I gave it to her as a present, and it was pretty selfless of me, right?" And then I take a swig.
You should also buy a campfire, bro.
So
why don't we all meander over to the fire over here, and you can tell us again.
Well, but
your
we should.
Selfless act.
You can retire to the campfire at your leisure. But why don't we take care of this of our dealings? And then I would encourage you to take a break. I'm sorry that room is not available. Like I said, that traveler is in it. We don't see much of them. They've sort of holed away. They look very nervous. They don't feel above board. I don't trust them at all. So if they do come out, don't trust them. Don't trust them as far as you can throw them underwater, as they say. But anyway, if you guys look in your macro bars, there's a shady goods. Do not click it until I tell you, because there's a process here. So I had to lead with that, right? Do not click it. We're gonna go in order of the party. So 1 second. So Dinjarin, click the shady goods. Macro once.
Okay.
All right. Per the agreement with Sid, you can either keep the crossbow of walloping, or put it back and draw one more time, but you're stuck with whatever the second thing is.
Is it bolts?
Cross bolts
or
of
is it a full
walloping.
I'll put them back in and roll again.
Okay.
So
Tempe shakes
roll?
his head like I could have had that. Yep, you can. Just for you guys, my battery just died in my headset, so give me 2 seconds to swap my battery. It'll take me just a minute. I cannot hear until I do this. Should have checked the battery level before recording.
I think
All right,
I'm going
I'm
to
back.
play next Friday.
Fun. Okay, so are you taking the Great Axe of Warning?
Yeah, I don't get to switch it out again, right? So
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. So Dinjarin, you get the Great Axe of Warning. All right. Up next is Glory.
Ready?
Yep. Roll. You've received the poisoner kit. You can keep the poisoner kit, or you can return it and draw again.
I'm going to keep it because it was one of the things I didn't purchase.
All right. You now have a poisoner kit in your inventory. Up next is Tempe.
But I feel like this is like that old game show where like you drop the thing and it's like beep, 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 beep.
Yeah,
You
pachinko.
could either keep this or open door number 2.
Oh yeah. That. All right, Tempe, roll.
What am I rolling?
Oh,
I don't
on the
see
macro,
anything.
it's a little white package that says Shady Goods. Just click it once.
Shady Goods.
All right. So you have a light crossbow of warning, or you can return it and choose something else.
Well, I don't have a crossbow, so.
All right. So would you like the crossbow? You keeping it?
And this, okay, if I click on it, it'll tell me what it is, right?
Yeah. Basically,
Okay.
it warns you of danger while it's on your person. Anyone within 30 feet. You can't be surprised when you, except when you're incapacitated. And if any of you are
Okay, I'll
sleeping,
the way-
into it.
yeah.
Perhaps Stefanos would appreciate an upgrade for crossbow.
All right. So you're keeping it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Up next is Tyros.
By the way, for some reason it's showing the items twice.
Yeah, it's there's a bug. I've already written that one down.
Oil flask.
Tyros, you have an oil flask, right?
Buy that.
You can purchase that at the general goods. Sid says. However, you can also use it for crafting if you have fire peas.
I may already have an oil flask. I do already have one, so I will choose another one.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. You found some poison. And where are you? Here you are.
Never had so much poison.
All right.
Hold on, wait. Can I ask Tyros something? So, Tyros, oh wait.
While you're asking, Stefanos, can you roll from the table, please?
I was just gonna say, I still have an extra pick out of my bag if you wanted to give that back and use my pick for a third one.
They're not. The picks are not transferable, my friend. Caltrops.
No wishing for more wishes.
These were a horrible device that have been used to ruin the lives of many soldiers. Would you like to keep these, or draw again?
Keep these.
You seem wise. It seems like something that you might find of use when trying to breach a fortress full of guards. So let me add these to your inventory.
Indeed.
And that leaves us with, I'm going to roll for Toph, because her boss called her rude. And you guys can help me decide if she keeps this. A portable ram. So you can use a portable ram to
Seems
break
handy.
down doors, right? You gain a +4 bonus on strength checks with it. And one character can help you use the ram, which would give you an advantage on the check. So if 2 of you use the ram, it's a way to knock down and knock over doors, walls, etc. Do you think she would keep it, or do you think she would roll again?
I think she'd roll again because she has rage, so she can just knock down the wall.
Would you all
We
agree?
are going up
We do
against
have-
the fortress, though.
That's true. I don't know.
Seems
Although I
handy.
think that's Dinjarin thinking like it could be handy, but I don't know if she would keep it or roll again. I don't think I know Toph well enough quite yet.
I'm gonna
know
roll a
if she would.
tenny. I'm gonna flip a coin. Where's the flip of
I
a
just
coin?
feel like we could just burn the door down.
So 1 and 2 is keep. 3 and 4 is go again. And she's keeping it.
Oh.
Because I didn't get consensus from the team, so we just flipped a coin. All right. It is actually pretty interesting. It might be handy, not just for now, but at some other point.
Future.
And with that, everyone.
Can I do one last thing?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to buy something from Sid that I saw in his inventory.
If you want, you guys, I have to join a meeting in 5, but I can leave the game running while you can shop to your heart's content. Right? And then drop from the game when you're done. I'm gonna turn on free movement, but I beg of you, I am trusting you to not wander out of the camp and don't open any doors. You're not allowed to go into any buildings, but you can go to all the shopkeepers you want and do what you want to do. I will also allow you to gather around the fire as your last action, and I'm guessing you're going to tell stories of. Well, we'll start there. I want you to do that in real life, so we can hear what your selfless things are. I'm assuming you're trying to attune to the hats.
We're attuned, but we have to link them.
Yeah, you have to link the hats, right? So we'll do that. We'll start when we next play. You guys have taken on the adventure. Dinjarin, you need to be thinking about what you want Jimmy Hammertoe to do from an armor perspective, like how special you want it to be, because he's going to craft it for you while you're gone.
Yeah.
So that if you come back from the adventure, you're going to get that weapon, or that armor. For everyone else, you will attune to you'll link your hats. You have your stones, and then we'll need to decide whether you're going to approach from the west, possibly under the cover of darkness and dust, or from the east. And how are you going to get into this fortress? And what are you going to do when you get there? Because all you know is you need to get in, either kill the guard to destroy the guards. Because part of the deal is Sid's going to want to know that you didn't just turn the water on, leave, and they turn it back off, right? So how are you going to ensure that water stays on is part of his deal. All right? And on that note, we're officially going to end the game. You guys can self-select around. When I see that no one else is left in the game, I will close it down. And enjoy. Thank you for playing, and awesome. Gloria, if you play next week, it'd be fun to have you, but no pressure.
Nice.
Bye.
I'll see y'all.